Good morning. It's great to be able to chat with you this morning. I hope you had a good weekend. Uh, my wife and I sure did. We traveled about 70 miles to a church that's facing some really tough struggles, and sought to encourage them from the Word of God and give them some biblical directions, how to face the future in the power of Christ. And then our small group met last evening, and we had a delightful discussion. We covered about 5 or 6 verses in First Timothy chapter 1, but there was lots to think about and wonderful interaction as we discussed aspects of the Apostle Paul mentoring the Timothy, and his statements about God's grace was sufficient in his times of challenge and offered him total and complete forgiveness. In my um, written announcement, I'm going to include a document that I promised a couple weeks ago and it slipped my mind. Some interview questions that were developed by the Dallas Seminary Alumni Association, and they address both interviewee questions and interviewer questions. So whichever side of the table you're sitting on, these are the kind of questions that you need to ask. And the powerful thing of this is that you gain the wisdom from a number of people, but they ask questions that get below the surface. That, I don't know your experience, but I've been asked some very superficial questions that are really irrelevant to my ministry effectiveness, but people thought they were cool questions to ask. Hey, you see the sunshine and kind of blinding me a little bit. So I've really enjoyed your statements in your discussion boards about goals that you're planning to implement. This is a good week to address that, because follow up, because it's the whole matter of accountability. Are you going to just say, I want to lose 20 pounds and still eat my donuts every day? Or are you going to take some positive action? So as you work on that, think that one through. Okay? Now, our assignment this week is to read chapters 5 to 8 in Chand. Then I have a short video clip, and I have another clip by Dr. Chand that are the reading, and the two videos become the basis for the paper that you're going to write, the primary basis on implementing a change in your church. Now, I have 6 steps for you to include in your paper. I will put these in the written announcement so that you can have it to read and refer to more easily as you write it. The first one is to clearly state the proposed change. And then the second step is to explain why you think this step is important and the benefits of making this change. So that's helping you prepare a sales pitch to some person or some committee. The third step is to specify each of the steps in the process and make them bold in your paper. Then, underneath each of those statements, you will describe how you will implement that step. And the fourth thing, or is that the fifth thing, is to address any possible obstacles to making this change. That can be facilities, it can be schedule, it might be Uncle Bill. And then the sixth statement is to how long do you anticipate this process will take? Important things, okay? Our discussion board is short and sweet, but it's an important one. How have you addressed failure to be accountable or responsible in a work setting or a ministry setting? Good thing for us to think about. Too many of us would prefer to stick our head under the rug and hope that the person will learn or be fired or something so that we don't have to deal with them. I don't think that's God's way. God bless you in this week. Have a wonderful one.